Hello, everyone, and welcome to the another episode of the Counsel Code, a podcast series by Volody. I'm Milind Kapile, VP of Sales at Volody, and your host for today's conversation. At Volody, we have been transforming the legal landscape since 2016 with cutting-edge solutions in contract lifecycle management, litigation management, insider trading compliances. Our mission is to empower the legal team with the technology that drives efficiency, accuracy, and compliance. This podcast is designed to provide valuable insights to the legal community through conversation with the top legal experts. We'll explore their professional journeys, key learnings, challenges, strategies, and perspective to gain a deeper understanding of the evolving legal world. After all, it's not about the law, it's about the stories behind it. Today, we are pleased to welcome Nistha Soonee to the podcast. Welcome, Nistha.
Thank you so much, Milind. I appreciate this opportunity. Look forward to having a very fruitful conversation with you.
Thank you. Nistha is currently Assistant General Counsel at 𝐻𝐿ice, the innovative fintech company, helping users to manage expenses, credit, and payments in a smarter ways. With strong experience in corporate law and private equity, Nistha has built a robust legal career. Before joining 𝐻𝐿ice, she served as a counsel at Trilegal. Before that, she was a senior associate at 𝐀𝐟𝐭𝐬 Mangaldas for 2 years, and previously she was at 𝐬𝐭'𝐬 Partners for 4 years. Along way, she has developed expertise in venture private equity transactions, corporate governance, regulatory compliance, and fintech law. Nistha holds a BA LLB from NALSAR University of Law, and she is also pursued further legal studies at the Santa Clara University School of Law. At 𝐻𝐿ice, she operates as an intersection of innovation and regulation, balancing growth and compliances in fast-moving fintech environment. Thank you, Nistha, for joining us today. We look forward to hearing your journey, the challenges you have encountered, and your insights into the evolving landscape of the fintech law and legal journey. So, Nistha, what inspired you to pursue the career in law?
Milind, in all honesty, when after 10th grade, all of us in the Indian diaspora take up science because we are supposed to be doctors and engineers. Ironically, that is what I started my 11th grade with. And lo and behold, I ended up hearing a live court hearing at Supreme Court for an acquaintance. And that was such a life-transforming experience for me that I actually ended up taking permission from CBSE and switching into arts at the end of 12th standard.
Interesting.
And my determination was clear that I want to be a lawyer and I want to be a corporate lawyer. Watching industries build, grow, expand, and watching the interplay of money and regulation. So that is what has been the most inspiring and motivating factor. And thankfully for me, the decision was right. It's been a decade plus, and I'm absolutely loving the journey so far.
Thank you. It's very interesting to know me. I mean, you changed your basically the career path actually from. Okay. So can you share a brief overview of your legal journey?
Absolutely. So in law school, all of us have our electives. I was quite clear that I want to have a baseline understanding and a stronger grasp of corporate laws. And that's when I sat for the campus placement, I was absolutely fortunate to be selected by 𝐬𝐭𝐬 and Partners. Zia Modi, being the stalwart that she is one of the best mentors any lawyer can expect and hope to have. So my transformative years were at 𝐬𝐭𝐬. And Milind, for every lawyer, your first job is absolutely the founding stone of what you become.
Got it.
𝐬𝐭𝐬 gave me a platform which gave me skills, starting from not just technical legal skills, but multitasking, client-facing at a young age, being able to develop soft skills to be able to say no to a client.
Okay.
Drafting, not in a way that you're a lawyer, but you are a business professional. Once you're endowed with these skills at a young age, it sets you on a very different path.
Correct.
Thereafter, I moved on to 𝐻𝐿ice Mangaldas, again, a absolutely renowned name in the industry with marquee clients that gave me an opportunity to not just focus on venture capital, private equity, but to do very strategic investments, Milind, where you have to put yourself in the business shoes and see why is this deal being done, because it's so much more than just return on investment.
Correct.
You are trying to create a larger unit of something that will give real meaning to a business.
Right.
And as my career trajectory grew, I found myself wanting a more client-facing role. Since, as lawyers, we love difficult things. So I moved down to TriLegal. Again, an absolutely wonderful platform. And as counsels at TriLegal, you are given so much responsibility. And it is with utmost faith that you know that even as counsel, you will have the ability to take the decisions and partners have your back.
Okay.
So frankly, Milind, I think I've just turned out to be lucky to have the right spate of stints. And the journey, of course, was extremely steep and very good learning came out of it. But what tends to happen as lawyers is that transactional lawyers specifically, your clients will come and say, I have executed a term sheet, it's signed, you just now need to do the deal documentation, right?
Oh.
What happens is, in the entire story, then you may not have the full picture of what the deal motivations are. What were the pain points? Why were certain things agreed and certain were not, right? And at the same time, once, of course, deal documentation is no mean feat. But once you're done with that, what happens to the deal next? How did the post-closing go? Were the founders happy? Are the investors getting the kind of governance they deserve? Is the company doing well? Did the investors get the exit? These are all unanswered questions that continue in your mind. So I had this burning desire to be a part of something larger. I wanted to see the entire life cycle of an investment. I wanted to see how do businesses grow? How are decisions taken in a room? How do you decide that you will acquire so-and-so company? How do you decide a product is viable or not? How do you decide you will go to the regulator and make an exceptional approval? What happens when you sit in a room with a regulator? Now, these are questions that are unlikely to be answered when you're in a law firm. And that became my key motivator to move in-house. And it's been quite a journey at Slice.
Okay.
It's been 3 odd years, and Slice, again, absolutely phenomenal work that they do. And I'm not just saying because I'm a part of this very esteemed organization. I'm saying this because we were a fintech unicorn, and we were amongst the first and probably the only ones who merged with the bank and are making a tech-first bank.
Okay. That's a very interesting perspective. So Nishita, I mean, you spend a lot of time actually with the law firms and now you're with the corporates. So any key difference you wanted to mention here?
Milind, it's like Mars and Jupiter, frankly, but absolutely. And to say that one can survive without the other would be a wrong statement.
Right.
As in-house lawyers, sometimes we are so focused on our business structure, our risk appetite. What we do not have exposure to is how are our market peers doing things? How are the regulators interacting in other jurisdictions? So that wider perspective, along with the speed, along with the efficiency that a large law firm can give you, an in-house counsel cannot match.
Okay.
Because nowadays, because of cost constraints, etc., we have leaner legal teams taking on more. So for any kind of extremely niche projects, we do rely on the absolute best legal minds, which are definitely the law firms. So they can be our counselors, they can be our advisors, they can be everything that you want them to be to help you sail through tough times. And I'm very proud to say that the kind of service that Indian law firms offer is absolutely unmatched.
That's interesting. Great. So any surprises you come across when you're working as an in-house counsel?
Oh, it's every day is a surprise. You don't know whether you're going to be the hero, the villain, or the court jester. Yeah, every morning has its own surprises. you will have a schedule set out for yourself. You will have 10 items on that schedule. By 5 in the evening, you realize you've achieved none of those because you have had 5 other SOS calls. So it's absolutely very interesting how you have to be so agile when you're working on the in-house side of things. It becomes very important that you know what is urgent and important.
Okay.
Because every problem will disguise itself as urgent and important.
You're right.
If you don't know how to prioritize, things can fall apart like a pack of cards.
Right.
So I do this grid-wise bifurcation. Important and urgent comes first. Then urgent comes. Then the really important stuff comes, which requires deep thinking on my part. And then you have miscellaneous. And once you have done that bifurcation is when you decide what can I delegate. Do I have the right people to delegate?
Correct.
And you delegate within your team. What is extremely high risk, requires something absolutely out of the world, extraordinary input is what goes to law firms.
Absolutely.
So this entire journey, Milind, from law firm to in-house is so different because the buck stops at you. In law firms, I can do a memo. I can say options 1, 2, 3. But who is sitting inside the business, understanding the risk appetite day in, day out? Who is in a position to brief the decision makers like the board, saying, in my humble view, this is the best path to take. It is not free of cons. These are the risks that we are taking. And Milind, if things go wrong, you have to stand by your decision and hope that you have taken all the right mitigation measures. So it's coming up with the law, analyzing the law, deciding, making the pro and con list, making sure the mitigation factors are actually implementable. Implement it, do some puja at home, and then hope that it doesn't come back to you. That's the difference between being a law firm lawyer and being an in-house lawyer.
Very interesting. So you, in your current role also, do you take any help from the law firms?
Absolutely, Milind, because there are some nuanced aspects where we would want to know what are the regulatory interpretations that are possible. Sometimes the deals are extremely large.
Okay.
They are very nuanced. They can involve multiple regulators. One thing, Milind, that we need to understand as lawyers, one lawyer can know baseline of many laws, but one single lawyer cannot be expert of all laws.
Correct.
So the skill also lies in knowing what I do not know and where I need to seek help.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And that is where I think the fact that I do have a baseline understanding of what the law firms can do, which are the right minds working on it, which is the growing talent. And of course, where can I get advice worth the money are all very, very important factors that go into deciding which law firms we take help from.
Okay, that's good. And so I do understand, I mean, the challenges and the various aspects actually or characteristics required and the experience, what the exposure you get in the law firm as well as actually with the in-house counsel. So what is the most misunderstood aspect being an in-house lawyer or in-house counsel?
I think the most misunderstood aspect is we love to say no.
Okay.
Milind, we don't love to say no. We want to say yes, but not at the risk of exposing the organization to aspects which can become problematic later. So we want to be a yes man. We want to be viewed as enablers, not blockers. But that is a very tough journey. And even inside an organization, you will have to keep helping the business solve problems by saying, I'm not saying no, I can say yes, but can we do it like this? And come up with the practical solutions, sit and solve problems for them. So that is when people will stop viewing you as a problem or a blocker or legal के पास जाएंगे तो ये नहीं हो पाएगा. That is the perspective that you will have to constantly fight against to the point where they'll say, एक बार legal से पूछ लेते हैं, I'm sure they'll have a solution.
A solution, yeah.
And that misunderstanding, once you cross that bridge, life becomes so much easier because all the teams will proactively involve you in problem statements before the problems have officially arisen.
Correct.
Which helps you mitigate. It helps you tweak certain things. It helps you approach regulators. And according to me, that is probably the most misunderstood and when well understood, the best solution to all in-house problems.
That's very interesting because it's over a period of time that trust factors gets built among the business and then that's basically they will come to you actually for the regular advice.
Absolutely. So best trust building actually does not happen over the call meeting for which a call has been scheduled. It happens before and after, where you will pick up the phone and you will say, honestly, how can I help?
Yeah.
What is the real problem? So that kind of thing will happen only when they have had some trust in not just your ability of being a lawyer, of being a problem solver.
Correct.
Brainstorming, And the best part, Milind, I'd love to highlight is you are not just becoming a better lawyer, you're also becoming a better business person.
Correct.
Because now you can think a little bit like them, appreciate the problem a little bit like them, understand why your solutions may not really work for the organization. So next time around, you think of something more practical.
Absolutely. So it's a business law solution actually, okay?
Absolutely.
Business legal solution actually. That would be the right word.
Correct. Yeah.
So the exposure, what you get actually outside or maybe practical experience. So what is the one essential skill lawyers needs that isn't taught actually in the law school?
It's okay to not know everything. And you have to get comfortable with the fact that every problem is not going to be black and white. It's going to be gray. And you should still have the confidence to be able to walk into the room and answer, I don't know, but I'll figure it out.
Correct.
And thereafter, of course, you put in your 200%. But Milind, at the same time, with a lot of courage, you should know where to get help from. And I'm not just talking about law firms. They, of course, are our confidants through the process. I am talking about other advisors. They could be financial advisors. They could be investment bankers. They could be your peers at similar industries. So the idea is, how well can you ideate? And then the most important thing, have the courage to say, this looks like a real problem.
That's interesting.
There is no hiding it, honestly. I think it's about having the courage to say, we'll figure it out. Okay, I'll try to figure it out on my own. If I can't, come on, let's everybody sit in the room, let's figure it out together.
Yeah, that's the right approach actually. I mean, we should of course have that audacity, and that will also get the confidence actually all the users that okay, I'm here to look at the problem from the business perspective as well as from the legal perspective and come up with a proper solution to assist you actually, right? To assist our business.
Because it is never about proving yourself, right?
Correct,
it's about doing best by the organization. And every single individual is not equipped to do everything. But what you do have is a very sharp mind to be able to see where to get help, how to translate that help into your business strategy.
Correct.
How to communicate it into words that your organization understands.
Absolutely.
Then how to implement it. So this ideation is probably one of the 20 steps, Milind.
I understand. So you must be having actually, having understood actually this current situation is, you would be facing a lot of high pressure environments as well, situations as well. So how do you prioritize or how do you tackle these situations?
So Milind, you start your morning with yoga, and if you have a bad negotiation day, you do kickboxing. That's essentially how you balance it out. But I think what is becoming increasingly important, Milind, is that you equip yourself with multitasking like never before.
Correct.
And when I say multitasking, I do not mean multitasking at the cost of quality. And I'm going to, at the cost of repeating myself, say that the 4-quadrant method of important and urgent, then important and miscellaneous, has really saved me many times in the day. And if you equip your team with the same ability to be able to distinguish, it can really save the day. And equally important is to ask the right questions.
That is very important, actually.
That is extremely important, Milind, because sometimes as lawyers, unfortunately, we have the misconception that we have understood the problem and we are so excited to solve it, we deep dive into it. However, we don't take that extra time to sit with the problem and wonder, is there more to it than what meets the eye?
Absolutely. So context plays a role actually here, because context actually what related to the problem, related to the external, internal environment is very important basically to understand. Otherwise, we work on assumptions and then basically come up with a solution that is not actually the real situation.
I mean, sometimes, it's happened and we all learn from mistakes. You end up giving a solution where you think you've saved the day. However, turns out you never understood the problem.
Understood the problem itself. Yeah, absolutely.
And in organizations, Milind, which are facing the headwinds nowadays, not just from a regulatory perspective, because the business environment is quite competitive nowadays.
Correct.
You cannot afford to lose time. That is not to say you cannot give the right amount of time to solve a problem, but you can't lose time.
Correct.
So that is when having these skill sets can save everybody some of their precious time collectively.
Great. So Nishita, from boardroom to courtrooms, how women GCs are reshaping the leadership in law?
I think as a woman, I can tell you that women lawyers have precision in advocacy and empathy in judgment.
Great.
And the kind of EQ and the emotional intelligence that a woman can bring in a room where tensions are high and decisions have to be made is absolutely priceless. Because right from childhood, not only have we learned multitasking, we have learned to read the room before even a word is said. And in fact, drawing from my previous references to AI can do everything for you. What AI cannot do is render empathy
Correct.
to your actions. And that is where I believe women by far exceed with a stance that is unimaginable. We are very softly, slowly, and with a lot of grit and determination, evolving cultures of workplace, especially law, which Milind is a field prone to burnout.
Okay.
We render it with a very soft and emotional aspect, where we appreciate productivity, but we at the same time appreciate work-life balance. So sky is open for everybody, whether you're a woman or a man. And all you have to do is come from a place of empathy, integrity, and passion, and success will be at your doorstep.
Absolutely great. So Nishita, we'll move to the section 2 of our podcast. So we are seeing a current trend actually on the responsible and ethical enablement of the AI. I mean, we want your reviews on that. Maybe you can start with the definitions of responsible and ethical AI, and then you can take it ahead.
Absolutely, Milind. I think as a lawyer, one of the things I would like to give my perspective on right at the outset, AI is something we all want to understand, but we don't understand fully as of yet. So whenever an AI related aspects comes up, and these views are absolutely my own, not of the organization, any aspect of AI deployment, you will have to take it up as if you were going to defend it in the Supreme Court or justify it to the public or defend it in front of the regulator.
Right.
And Milind, while that statement by itself may sound very daunting, I want to specifically highlight how amazingly friendly, flexible, and supportive our regulators are being on this. RBI, for instance, Milind, they recently released a free AI report in August of 2025. Our government is actually one of those governments that are so innovation friendly. They do not want to pass any rules, regulations, laws clamping down the AI innovation. Instead, what they're doing is, it's very well worded. They have said there are 7 sutras. So they're going back to our basics, right? They are laying down certain beautiful fundamental principles and tenets for us to follow. So no one size fits all, but principles that if you follow them right, you will 9 out of 10 times come on the right side of the law.
Okay.
Right? So the kind of governance that you have, the kind of transparency that you have, the kind of accountability that you have, and you will have to take those principles and translate it into your business.
Okay.
So to give you an example, for regulated entities, if I am using a third party's AI solution, am I outsourcing? That becomes a very tricky question, because as regulated entities, there are a lot of restrictions on what you can and what you cannot outsource.
Correct.
So there, if you apply these principles, and the most interesting part is, there are suggestions that it should not be considered outsourcing provided you have done certain XYZ things.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So what becomes very interesting, Milind, as lawyers, is that we should know what are the aspects we should be including in our contracts. What are the aspects that should be taken care of when a policy is being implemented? Have you kept the public in mind? Have you created the right kind of audit mechanism? Do you have a kill switch if something goes wrong? Tomorrow, if your vendor decides, I want to change the model, update it, will I get prior intimation? Will I be able to do a joint risk assessment? So all of these aspects come into mind. And of course, all our lawyers' favorite, indemnity clauses, right? And you also want to make sure, and this is a trend, Milind, you will see across jurisdictions. Even the very business-friendly state of US, Delaware, they recently very clearly said that if financial advisors, legal advisors, they want to use AI for regulatory filings, they are absolutely welcome, provided each of them should give an undertaking that there was human intervention and oversight.
Correct.
While using the AI.
Absolutely.
And the moment each license holder, professional, gives that undertaking, you have put your stamp on it. And at the same time as us lawyers, we are seeing so many instances in the industry where absolutely long documents are being AI generated and AIs are unfortunately hallucinating.
Correct.
Citations are being created which don't exist. And much to a lot of judges' woes, they are being attributed to those judges. So you can only imagine the horror that's ensuing. Again, Delaware took this very seriously in one of their recent judgments. And it was not just about a couple of $100,000 fine on the law firm. They made them issue a public apology for it to the judge to whom the case was falsely attributed. And take up training. So, Milind, these are all very practical takeaways for all of us as lawyers. That, of course, you will do your checking what all should be included in the contract. You will have your regulatory sandbox. You will have that conversation with the regulators. But what are you doing at a lawyer level? Are you training the right people? Are you teaching them how to use AI, but only to the right extent? How to spend that extra time scrutinizing an AI-generated document?
That's a very interesting perspective. I mean, bringing any AI, like a technology like AI, basically it's an organizational transformation. I mean, it's not limited to the lawyers. Of course, there is a different departments basically get involved. Especially we are seeing basically now the governance and actually the cybersecurity team works together actually to solve a lot of challenge related to the AI framework to be implemented at the organization level. So, okay, thanks for your perspective. So, any advice you would like to give to the aspiring lawyers or law students?
Be ready for change all the time. And I'm not just talking about change of laws. I'm talking about change of technology. I'm talking about pivoting of businesses. I am talking about working on corporate law one day and a emerging labor issue the next day.
Oh,
The only thing that will keep you surviving will be the ability to adapt to change.
okay. That's great. So, Nishita, let's move to the rapid fire round. Okay. And I have some questions for you.
Sure.
All right. So, if you could change one law, which one would it be?
Milind, I'd like to change the income tax laws, not just because I love savings,
Great.
because
I also.
absolutely each Indian will resonate with this, but I want to understand them better. I want the laws simplified so that we are able to structure our taxes better.
Okay. What's the best piece of advice you ever received?
Best piece of advice: when you are writing some advice, assume you'll defend it in the court, and if it's on WhatsApp chat, it will circulate in all the groups.
How do you balance risk management with the business growth?
It's calculate, contextualize, and then mitigate.
Okay, great. What's the most important value a lawyer should have?
Ethics and integrity.
Okay.
Those walk into the room before you do.
Okay. Do you prefer a courtroom drama or boardroom strategy?
Boardroom any day. There is chai and everybody's on the same side.
How do you approach work-life balance as a legal professional?
As I said, yoga in the morning, kickboxing in the evening, depends on how your days go.
How do you ensure your advice is business friendly?
It should never be more than 3 para long.
Ah, great. Okay. What motivates you to keep going during the tough times?
When some business person says we should come to legal before we discuss anything else.
What's your favorite thing about working with external counsel?
After every single mandate, you come out as a better lawyer.
How do you define leadership in legal context?
You will be the one holding the torch when the light goes out and not be scared.
And my last question is, what is your success mantra?
Show up every day, no matter what the day looks like.
That's great. So thank you, Nishita, so much for sharing your insights with us today. Is there anything else you would like to add before we wrap up?
Milind, it's been an absolute pleasure having this conversation with you. And I really appreciate this platform and the kind of insights different lawyers are bringing. Because theory is every day, but
Correct.
the practical perspective is absolutely enriching. So kudos to you guys for doing a great job on this.
Well, thank you very much, Nishita, for your time, and have a good day ahead.